Hey folks, this is Alonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. And I bet you some of y'all didn't know I had a book out, did you? Well, I do. N.W.A. Not Without Alonzo, available on Amazon.com, $14.95. But also, there is a comic book, limited edition comic book, Hip Hop Family Tree, featuring yours truly, Alonzo in the middle, Dr. Dre, and Yella. Limited edition, only available on my website, LonzoWilliams.com. Now, if you want both books, the Hip Hop Family Tree and N.W.A., both of them $30. Go to my website, LonzoWilliams.com. In the comments, put your name and what you want me to say. I'll autograph and make sure it gets to your house right away. Both books, $30, autograph, LonzoWilliams.com. And if you're like me, you don't have time to sit down and read like I'd like to, but I love audiobooks. That's why I put my book, N.W.A. Not Without Alonzo, on audio. That's right, but it's available only on CD Baby. Why? Because I set every track, every story to music. So as you ride down the street, listening to the stories of West Coast hip hop, you got some fresh new tracks to bob your head to. Available only on CD Baby, N.W.A. Not Without Alonzo. Check it out, folks. Give you something to ride to. Peace. After all these years, I've watched every movie about record artists. I think one of the movies that really probably stuck with me the most was Cadillac Records. If you ever see Cadillac Records, you'll see that Chuck Berry and the guy from Cadillac Records were at a radio station, and the DJ told the record company and Chuck Berry, "I'm going to make you rich. I'm going to make you famous." And Chuck Berry changed seats with him. He said, "Well, but I can't get rich and he get famous." Well, the nature of the game is that the artists get rich while the artists get famous while the record company gets rich. And that's been the nature of the game for so long. And it's almost even worse now. Now, what I'm about to tell you is not just my opinion, it's fact. People get rich from the record industry. Artists get rich to a certain degree, but it's in most cases it's nowhere near what they deserve. But because most of them come from nothing, they're happy with what they get. And sometimes that can be just enough. I'm gonna start the presentation, folks. All right, today you are live with Alonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, y'all. We are doing the new music webinar, the Music Business Masterclass, and it's going down like this. Hosted by yours truly. How not to get screwed in the music business. Lesson 1, understanding the game. Understanding the game, folks. Nobody will play football, any sport, without understanding how the game is played. Now, very few classes will teach you how the game is played. They'll tell you that record business will teach you about publishing, what the standard rates are, various terms. They won't tell you how people get taken advantage of. And this is what we're going to talk today. Music business, 10% music, 90% business. This is why they call it the music business. Most people are not aware of the business part. They're so focused on the music. I bet you right now, there's people all over the world in the studio trying to make a hit record. And if they get a hit record, they will end up giving it away or won't know how to take advantage of it to its fullest. My good friend, Casper, the guy that made Casper, the Cha-Cha Slide back in the mid-2000s, had a hit record out of Chicago. You know what I'm talking about. One left foot stomp, now right foot stomp, now spin, all that right there. He had that record, was on the air, didn't have the publishing coverage, didn't have distribution. It wasn't in the store. The record was bootlegged for 6 months before he got his distribution together. So when I see this happening, people are so focused on the art, they forget about the business part. So he was able to retroactively get some things taken care of, but he still missed out on thousands of dollars of airplay from various sources. Take care of your business and it will take care of you. I told you before, I haven't made a record in over 30 years, folks. I received a check this week for a song I didn't even do. Somebody sampled one of my songs. But because it's my song, Turn Off the Lights is, if anybody knows Master P, Mr. Ice Cream Man, Mr. Ice Cream Man was ripped off from Turn Off the Lights. And every time Master P does something with that song, Alonzo get a check. These are some of the things you have to have your business taken care of so that your business can take care of you. Again, I was not expecting that check whatsoever. It made my day, especially during this Corona time. Made my day. I went to the mailbox. I saw it from my co-publisher. I knew when I see a letter from them, it's usually a check involved. When I looked up, there it was, made my day, made me even happier than I was already that day. And I kept on pushing, dropped it in the bank, all good. But again, so many people make hit records, that money goes someplace else. The same reason why people are burning the streets right now is the same reason why I'm here right now. We need to have a musical revolution where artists can get their full money. Artists have to stop working, let their egos be their business manager. And what I mean by that is stop being so anxious to be in the game that you'll accept anything anybody gives you. And this is what I'm here for today. More robberies are committed with pen and paper than with a gun. Think about this for a minute, folks. We all, because I got something myself, we all get robbed when you sign a contract for a credit card. But you're so happy to have have access to that $5,000, $7,000, $1,500, $500, you will sign that contract. And that contract will have an interest rate so high that you'd be surprised how much money you give these folks just in interest. But you don't see the interest part. All you see is the $5,000, the $7,000, the $2,000 on the credit card statement. Oh, I got a $2,000 credit card. Okay, fine. But you got a 26% interest rate. You just got robbed. You just got robbed. And I'm guilty because I've done the same thing. I'm not here to tell you I'm no angel, I'm no genius, but I understand how I get robbed, how I got robbed. So once you understand how you get robbed, you figure out a way to alleviate the robbery. What's in a contract, folks? A contract, first of all, what is a contract? A contract is a document that describes the ins and outs of the deal. It tells you what's going to happen, who's going to do it, how it's going to be done, who, what, where, and how. What do you want in a contract? Most people want an advance. They want a fair recording contract. They want a successful career, promotion, videos, marketing. All those things go into a record deal. But the problem is, here's the part people don't understand. When you're in a record deal, they give you an advance. That money at the top, all that money is basically a loan that you have to pay back when you promote your record, when you promote the videos, when you do the marketing for the product. All that money is just a loan, okay? It's a high interest loan. Now here's the crazy part. They give you the money to promote a product that they own, but they make you pay for it. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in for a minute. You created it. It's in their catalog. They currently own the copyright, which means they own the master to that product. But in order for them to market it and promote it, they will give you the money for that, use all their people, and then before you get any money back, everything they spent on their record that you made, they have to recoup. That's the magic word, recoupment. Recoup is the magic word. Recoup means get back, return, payback. So before you can get any money, they have to recoup all the money for the videos, all the money for the promotions, all the money for the marketing. Now, when you see that right there, It sounds okay, good. That's good. No, it's the game. Okay, why am I paying for your product to be promoted and marketed? Yeah, I created it. Actually, we're a partnership, but according to the record contract, it's your expense, but it's my bill. Think about it. What you get usually is a little bit of money, an unfair contract. You find yourself in debt to the record company, lose your stage name, and you get a middleman between you and your money, someone controlling your music and your career. I don't know if everybody on this call remembers when Prince used to wear this thing on his face. It was slave, then he had this other little symbol, formerly known as Prince. Well, when Prince first got his contract with Warner Brothers, he was a happy little artist, okay? He was a bad, talented brother. And he put in his work, and he withstood all the negativity, wearing them leggings and doing all the stuff that he did, all those antics that he did, people not knowing whether he was straight or gay. Then at some point in time, Prince wised up. He wanted to control his masters. If you think about it, you don't hear very many people remaking Prince's songs while Prince was alive. Prince didn't play that. If Prince felt his music was unfuckwittable, as Kevin Hart would say, unfuckwittable, and which means, nah, y'all can't do it no better. And I think only one person he's allowed to actually redo one of his songs. But for the most part, Prince at some point realized he wanted to renegotiate his contract. And they said, no, we got you for 7 years with some options. We ain't got to renegotiate nothing. So him and his way of protesting is he gave them a bunch of semi-whack albums that didn't really sell just to fulfill his commitment. Now, see, that's another game that artists play with record companies. Once you realize you're getting screwed, you're not going to go back and then tell them what you ain't going to do, okay? The contract is a contract. You have to fulfill it. So Prince went in and gave them all the stuff that they wanted to fulfill the contract, and it was just not good Prince material, okay? Then when Prince fulfilled his contract, he stopped using that symbol. He went back to using his name. He started doing tours on his own. He started doing his own, Prince started distributing his own product. He didn't want Warner Brothers no more. In fact, rumor has it, reason why he ain't here, because he got control of his catalog. I don't know nothing about that right there, but rumor has it, once he took control of his catalog, he was no longer of use to them. So you got a guy like Prince who understood the game. Michael, the same thing. Michael was mad at Warner Brothers forever, Sony forever. Because what you have to understand is you'll very seldom find an artist that's really happy with their record company. Let that sink in for a second. Most artists are not happy with their record companies. Because once you understand the game and you see how much money they're making off of you and how they get their money, you're like, damn, all them records I sold, this is all I get. But at first, that what you was getting was a lot to you. It was a lot to you. But once you start weighing out what it actually is worth to the record company and how the contract actually reads, you're like, oh, hell no. So Michael, Prince, most of the people that the big superstars at some point in time realized I want out. And if I do stay with you, we're gonna give me a deal that's so doggone dynamic, it's gonna make your head spin. Before Michael died, Michael owned 50% of the Sony catalog. Let that sink in for a minute. Michael Jackson owned 50% of the Sony catalog, which included the Beatles material, which was worth damn near $1 billion by itself. All right? Nowadays, contracts, when you get a contract, you're probably going to get a small amount of money up front, unless you some superstar going in. Let's take it, for example, Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion, some of y'all may know she's really upset with her record company right now because she wants to go to Live Nation. Well, her other label did all the work, helped her get where she is, but now that she's looking pretty good, she's doing songs with Beyonce, they want her at Live Nation. Well, her other record company said, no, I got a contract. You can't go nowhere. Now, according to what I read so far, she only got 15 grand for that her deal. That 15 grand sold out her future, put her in lock and key to that company for a certain period of time. She's been pretty quiet for a while. She can't go. She can probably do some features, but she's not leaving. And if she does leave, she got to drop a hell of a check, give her some points. If you remember correctly, let's go back to the 90s when Dre left Eazy-E. When Dre left Ruthless Records and went to Death Row, Easy, what he tell you? Dre Day is my payday. Dre was talking shit about Eazy-E, but had to give him a quarter off of every record that he sold. Not only that one, but anything he did for Death Row. So as deals get cut, all these contracts and clauses are in the contract to make sure whatever you do, I'm covered. So if you ain't happy no more, go ahead and go over there and do what you want to do, but just send me my money back. And that's the kind of situation Dre found himself in with Easy when he left Ruthless and went to Death Row. We all remember that when Easy said it on the Arsenio Hall, so Dre Day is my payday. So even though he's talking shit about Easy, he still get paid for talking shit about. He got to pay Easy for talking shit about Easy. Crazy game, but that's how it goes. You're in debt to the record company. Wrecking Crew, my group, World Class Wrecking Crew. We had an album we did back in 1988, Raptor Romance. They got $100,000 for that album. That album never recouped. It's still, right to this day, I'm in debt, technically, to Sony Records. They're not coming to collect it from me, but if that record, somebody picked that record up and it goes viral, I got to sell a whole lot of records just to get my first dollar after $100,000. It gave me $100,000 back in the 80s. It's 2020 now. If that record, by some chance, somebody picks it up and it goes viral and it blows up, I got to sell a whole lot of records, and not just 100,000. That's what you may think. Or you may have to sell 100,000 based on your royalty rate. If you get a royalty rate of $1 a record, you'd have to sell 100,000 records to get back to even. Let that sink in. You had to sell 100,000 records just to get even, back to zero. Now, 100,000 records, just for me to get to zero, they've already, let's use the number as 10. Keep the math real simple. 10 times 100,000 is what, $1 million? So they'll make $1 million and I still ain't got to pay me a dime.